Hey, it's Jim Peterson of the Minnesota Timberwolves coming at you from LA Live. And you're watching Wolves After Dark. Welcome.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the World Championship.
Edwards. They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, baby.
Welcome to Wolves After Dark, everyone. Timberwolves win Game 3 in Golden State on the road. We should have to go on the road to feel better. But they win 102-97. Crazy because Vegas had the spread at Wolves -5, which is nuts. But anyways, if you're new here, like the stream, subscribe to the stream. If you're an OG WAD squatter, you've already liked the stream. So I appreciate you and you're subscribed already. And leave a comment if you're watching the VOD. Who was your player of the game? And what do you think the new updated series count will be at the end? Will it be 4-1 or will it be close? Will we see Curry in Game 6 or something like that? Let us know. Whew. Okay. I got to calm down. My blood pressure during that game was at unhealthy levels for 3.5 quarters. How are you feeling after that game?
I'm feeling like your blood pressure. I'm just all over inside your butt. What?
This early in the stream.
Cat mentioned. Doing well, man. Wolves win. Shout out to Draymond Green making an idiotic comment after his game, and then shout out to Tim Connolly for nipping whatever happened in the butt after that, but then fouling out and being absolutely irrelevant in the game after. But I do want to also just give praise to Jonathan Kuminga for kind of like owning. He played really well, but also his youth showed late in the game. But
Kuminga just having magnet ball is driving me insane. But I mean, he had 30 points tonight. Jimmy Butler had 33. There were a lot of times tonight where it felt like there was nobody on the court that could guard Jimmy. But especially Dante. But we'll get to that later.
Scott Foster, honestly, he comes in to extend the series, and we get all of our bigs in foul trouble. And I was like, here we go. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. And we also were shooting ourselves in the foot. We're not making shots. We're not playing cleanly, but we found a way. I think, as you said, somehow, somewhere in the Discord, we find a way. We want to be underdogs. We want to be discounted before we pull up and make the actual plays to finish up a game. All we needed to do was close this game out ahead, score the more points, and we did. That's how stupid this kind of obvious statement is, but we found a way. They could have really chucked a bunch of threes there at the end, but they were having a hard time finding threes. That was probably our game plan for this game. They didn't make a three in the first half. They were really hesitant and reluctant to shoot, and we played into that a lot. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Before we get into some more comments, M. Digler, before the stream started, became a member. Thank you. Appreciate you for the support. Remember, it's just $2.99 if you want to join, and it gives you a better chance at giveaways. And we're going to have some mighty fine giveaways coming up here in the near future. We got our YouTube paycheck coming through in a couple weeks. We're good. And Eric with the 5 gifted, as always. We love you. Man. Thank you, Eric. I'm so glad you got to go to that one game and win one of the giveaways. So that's super cool. But this game was in some ways like some of our regular season games that we've had, where the first 2, even 3 quarters are kind of not fun, where we are getting beat defensively. We just don't look like a good defensive team. We don't look a good offensive team. And somehow we just kind of scratch and claw our way to be within shooting distance, 5-10 points or something like that. And I was a little concerned at the beginning of this game because the Warriors were closing the first quarter, the second quarter, and even the third quarter, to agree, pretty strongly, especially the first and second quarter. The first half of those quarters, they were kind of mundane. Like you said, they were kind of hesitant to shoot at times. It was kind of weird. And that bled into our offense as well. But then they came with these runs that felt like, oh no, if they're able to do this at the end of every quarter, I don't know how we win this game. But then, as the Timberwolves have done many times this season, they come up late in games and make it a game. That's why we were in so many clutch games this year. And everybody likes to remark that we had such a bad clutch record, but really we just had so many clutch games that there were so many opportunities for there to be clutch. But the Timberwolves put the clamps on defensively in the fourth quarter, which was huge. And then Ant just started hitting shots. That was a huge part of it too. Ant in the second half had 23 or however, like more points. I don't know. It was a lot of points. Most of his points came in the second half. So those two things kind of won you the game. Another ugly element of this game was all the fouls. There were a ton of fouls for both teams. Everybody's bigs were getting in foul trouble. And it felt like a bad thing for us at a while. Anything you're worried about going into future series or future games and series, I guess. But like going into game 4, is there anything that you're really thinking about or like, wow, this is maybe like a huge red flag? Anything like that going into game 4?
Shout out to Somewhat Solo. Thank you so much for the donation. Ant-Man is always waiting on the moments he's needed. He lets his team work through the planes and winning, and before he has to use energy, true leader. Love that. We'll get into that, I think, when we talk more about Ant.
Yep.
Hey, yeah, I'm worried. We're not consistent. I'm worried about just general energy levels and preparedness. But I think that's with every team at every given moment, because there's also an equal and opposite team out on the other end, game planning for us, hurrying us, rushing us, making us frustrated with what we are able to do. And then our first option is usually never going to be available, right? And when your shot is not falling, that's another, warning sign. You have to do something different. It's awesome to see Ant adjust and start attacking the rim. And even though a couple of bunnies were, those layups weren't going in, he kept going. And it was really incredible to see that perseverance. But I am a little concerned. There's not like a third player that emerged or stepped up early in the game when we saw kind of Julius and Ant struggle, early at least. We didn't have another player that really stepped up. But hey, all that matters is the win and to extend the series to our advantage. And I just want to give a big shout out to Ant and Julius, because there wasn't a third player for a large part of this game until Jaden kind of emerged with a dunk, with that 6 foul on Draymond, with the 3 clutch plays, honestly, from Jaden.
Clutch 3. That 3 was a big 3 for us.
And it's kind of a testament to our depth, man. Like, I don't think that is a key to our series, our depth and our health, but our depth wasn't getting it done. Theirs were they had a lot more production from their bench than ours, for example, and we had to really heavily rely on our 2 big players. And man, it's okay to win like this. It really is okay. I think we need to kind of let down on the negative kind of frustrating vibes and be really kind of praising and sharing in the win, because these aren't going to always be easy blowout games. They're going to be very kind of gritty, and the calls might not go our way, and we find a win. So positive wads, man. Positive wads.
I think for me, it's been tricky for me in this series because the Warriors play really good defense. And like you said, last year we got treated to a lot of super fun games where we were either blowing out the Suns, or we had our crazy defensive masterpiece in game 2 against the Nuggets. We have our offensive masterpiece in game 6 against the Nuggets, and then that fun comeback against the Nuggets. There were just so many fun moments last year in the playoffs. But we also didn't really play any super hard defensive teams. Even the Mavs weren't that crazy defensively. But I really do think that the Warriors are playing really good defense on us, both scheme wise and just individually. All their players are playing pretty well. Even Buddy has been playing some decent defense at times. So it's hard. It's been hard for me to kind of sit back and relax and enjoy this. But it's really just because it's good defense. And especially when we started turning on our good defense in the fourth, that's when I was like, okay, this feels better. This feels more like a defensive, fun game, I guess. So I think it's just something just getting used to. And more importantly than the fan perspective or my perspective or whatever, is this is such a huge growing opportunity for our team. And this is why, again, I wish Curry was playing, but this is why I want to have this experience for our team going up against Golden State, because we've talked about this. They have been a fantastic team to end the season. They were right there with us, actually a step ahead of us for basically the entire last half of the season, ever since the Jimmy Butler trade. And they've looked really good with Jimmy. Jimmy's been able to, I mean, he almost single-handedly carried them to a win tonight. I mean, if they had a couple other things go their way in the fourth, who knows? But no, like he's been playing great for them. And they're somehow getting away with playing 13 players. Not tonight, but like the other nights, they've been able to do that somewhat successfully. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of both the fans and the players adjusting to it being like, oh, this isn't just going to be easy. Like we actually have to figure out new ways. And like, you get into certain circumstances, like for example, I mean, I'm going to use a personal like analogy, but like for my photography business, my modeling business, I like when I first started being a photographer and doing the same shoots over and over and over again, like it's pretty easy. But then if something goes wrong, then you have to learn on the spot how to fix that or how to adjust to that or what you can do to make up for that. And like over the years, I mean, I've been a photographer for a very long time now. So now I am capable of thinking on the fly and going to a different technique or doing something else if the weather's not right or if like anything, So these players are learning that in this series to be like, okay, well, this is a good defensive team, and hopefully learning from like some of the zone defense and things like that, and how to like what teammates he can trust in those situations, and like where to go to bust the zone, or even just like when he's getting doubled. It's like he had that one great play at the end of the game where he gets doubled, he takes two of them with him, passes it to Julius passes it to Jaden, and then we get the three. It's like boom. That's a perfect example of him learning along the way. So, I mean, some of these games might not be super fun to watch. And I wouldn't say that this was super fun to watch until the fourth quarter, but it was good. It was a good ending. So, your camera. It's rearing its head here in the playoffs. Let's catch up on some comments while Ashwin refreshes here. That was bad timing. I was going to send it back to him. You guys are talking to yourselves in the chat. Kerr is a good coach. What is Kerr saying? Interesting. One more win at Golden State and one more at home. Yeah, guys, also the element of this where like they, for 3 quarters, you even heard them when Ant was on the hot mic with, what was it, Gary Payton? And it was like, oh, Ant's like, you're trying to win this one so you can get to game 6. And they're like, yeah, that's what we're doing. So us winning this game where they basically were winning for so long, that's huge. So I think this is just like a huge like mental win for the Timberwolves because they thought they had this and then they don't. So Warriors in 6, haha. You're back, Andrew the Goat. Oh my gosh, you're funny. You're funny. We can hope. Oh, sorry. There you go.
I couldn't add myself. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I have a dying PC, so
you're streaming from a Raspberry Pi.
Routine. I might have to find poverty substitution here for this. Hey, I don't know what you said, but let me try to make up. I love what you said just now. Everything about what you were saying was just remarkable and accurate, and 100% no comments whatsoever. I've no feedback on what you said. And I just want to add on to some what you said with some new thoughts. I think we need more. We need more from our others, but in a game where we didn't and we couldn't find it, we have been relying on it all season long. It's kind of wonderful to have a really abysmal first half from a couple of our star players and then find them in the game where they're in their own head, they're in their own flow, they're missing shots, and they're trying to find an alternative way to score and drives to the rim. Jaden comes in clutch, but then Julius with the big bully energy that we needed and gets to the line a few times too. It was incredible. Incredible to watch. A triple-double from Julius Randle, his first triple-double of his career in the postseason, maybe, I don't know, of all time. But Ant, man, like, say what you want about Ant and his, like, finding his need or his desire to get engaged in the game. Boy, there was a moment where he hit a 3 and he turned on.
Yes, yeah.
It was one of those like instant catch and shoot threes, and he just turned on all his valves and he was unstoppable.
Yes.
Only he could stop himself, and it was incredible to watch. We're watching tired legs, man. We're watching hurried, hobbled, injured players working through it, and on both ends, really.
Yeah.
But we're the younger team. We're the sprier team. We have more will in this series, I think. And Draymond really screwed it up for Golden State, man. I really think that he owned himself, and he was playing so carelessly and fouls himself out. Jimmy Butler cannot one-man band a team anymore. And they were lucky to get what they got from Kuminga, in my opinion. Here we go. Up 2-1. I'm feeling great, dude. I'm feeling great.
I feel great now. I feel very good now that we won this game, because now there's just so much pressure on Golden State to win this next game. Because they need to win quick so that they can get Curry, or try to get Curry back. But at this point, it's in a way Ant finding himself in this game. Like, I don't want to say it's over, but like, if Ant has found himself offensively again, it's over for the Warriors. Like, if he's found himself in his confidence and just his general like body language and everything, it's going to be a problem for them. So I'm super excited. Look at this. Crone with the 10 gifted. Oh my gosh. We got giveaways for months. We're going to have to do giveaways in July when we're just watching the G League team.
Has Crone won a giveaway?
As Crone, I don't know. Crone got the giveaway of going to a bar with us. No.
Oh man, wow.
We signed our autographs for Crone, all this big stuff. No, we were actually Crone signed autographs for us, so that was cool. But no, I don't know. Good thing.
Crone, let me know what you're up to on Monday. You want to watch Game 4 together? We're up 2-1 now. Let me know.
Yeah. We can meet when we're up. We can't meet when we're down. We're front runners when it comes to that. Cool. I don't really have anything else before the tier list. Do you want to get into the tier list?
I want to catch up with comments as much as I can before we get into the tier list. So let's kind of go thing like go cry, why try, why lie, Wilson 5.
DFS buddy.
Butterfly, I like you. You're okay. You're my kind of person. Oh, we love you, Butterfly. All right. Why don't you guys admit it? Draymond Green lost the game for the Warriors. I think we are.
Exactly.
You guys would have not won this game if Draymond Green did not sell the game. I don't know.
I mean, you actually said that verbatim. So, but I mean, I think it was a combined effort. It was definitely combined. Draymond, though, it seems like Draymond without Steph is just like crazy bad. And like Rudy pointed it out years ago that like, hey, when Steph's out, Draymond is going to try to get himself ejected. So,
we have a troll. Okay, so he's a troll. If he gets out of hand, we'll just like time him out. But I mean, like, I don't know. Minnesota fans are just like rushing to Golden State Warriors streams and just like being stupid. So if you're the GOAT, you're one of one, man.
Calling yourself the GOAT is pretty
sad.
Interesting. Yeah.
This game kind of felt like they wanted Ant and Randall to beat us and not the others. Oh no, my camera
again. That's okay. I'll take over. I'll catch up on comments wherever we are. Oh, there we are. Perfect. This game felt like they wanted Ant and Randall to beat us, not the others. Yeah, kind of. Well, sort of. I mean, like Ant was getting some one-on-one opportunities early, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know, guys. You guys remember? This is just right after the game. Holy cow, we have so many viewers. This is insane. We have like 250 people watching right now combined. That's insane. Okay. Hello, everybody. Please click the like button. But yeah, I mean, it did kind of feel like that at times. Rudy drawing fouls on rebounds, I'm okay with, but Mike and DDV, I'm ready to trade them both. I can't lie, Capo. When I was watching this game and I was seeing DDV, I was like, we've never seen it this bad. In all ways, it was so bad. I don't know how you play him. I feel like you can't play him at the same time as Butler because they just kept switching him onto him, and it was really gross. And honestly, Mike somewhat held his own at times. And like he was fouling the correct players to foul. Like he was fouling Kuminga when he got switched onto him because it's like Kuminga's not an amazing free throw shooter. And Mike is feisty on defense. Even if he's not big enough to really stop people, he can still get some stops. So now, I mean, he's still 50 years old, as Julius Randle says, but still. He's getting tossed in game 4. I thought that he was going to get a technical tonight, and I was like ready for it because then he's got one more until he gets suspended. So I don't know. There was a moment where him and Julius were really battling, and Julius kind of shoved him a little bit after the play, and he immediately starts going at the ref like, "You're going to allow that to happen?" And I thought he was going to go like do the revenge thing on the next side of the court and be like pushing him all crazy and then get a technical. But he held himself together. However, then he was screaming at the camera for the rest of the game after he got his 6th foul. He's just talking to that one camera for maybe literally like 8 straight minutes.
Oh, I missed all of that.
They kept panning to him, and he's just talking directly straight into the camera. It was pretty funny.
Meant for that afterlife, I think, or after NBA life. Whoops.
Yeah,
shout out to our NBA or our team, a replay assistant coach, getting it 2 for 2, 100%. What's going on with Steve Kerr and trying to like fight for Draymond Green and his 4th foul? That was dumb. Clearly a moving, pulling screen. I cannot believe they challenged that. And can we also play Clark over Nah, please? Like Nah has been in a bit of a rut and needed a talking to, and apparently he didn't get a talking to today. So.
Not today, but the other day he did.
Yeah. He was kind of all over the place and didn't really do anything in that place, in those places.
Yeah, today especially. Clark, there were multiple moments tonight where I was like, okay, maybe instead of Dante, because it was like Dante and Nas were going back and forth, fouling out of the game. And I was just so ready for like put Clark in on somebody just to, even if it's because like Jimmy, the problem is that Jimmy is so savvy and he's a vet and he knows how to get the moves that are going to get the foul calls. So like, we can't really throw Clark in because Clark's just not like as up to date even on that. I mean, like Clark's so young and he just doesn't know like all the moves. Like, sure, he's studying film, I'm sure, but like, you know, it's just different. He's just a rookie. He's too young, and I know he played really good defense, but there was also times where like Luka, for example, baited him into that one play that one time, and it was just like, I don't know. There's just plays like that I worry that he would pick up 3 quick fouls immediately. So, but there have been times also where it's like maybe we're just getting fouls regardless, especially tonight where Dante was like foul, or just get absolutely cooked. Let's just put somebody else in. I don't know. It's crazy.
We're catching up with chat here. Final one before we get into the tier list. Cameron. Shout out to Bubs. Welcome, Bubs. 420.
That reminds me. Yeah, I like the 420. I think we missed one earlier from Ryan Robinson. I'm so sorry. I saw this and I meant to put this on the screen. Julius does not sleep. He waits. I love it. Amazing. That's great. Thank you, Ryan. And thank you, Bubs. I love that.
Shout out to the shoes you wear and own. Let's go. Let's do it. As we get into the tier list, I'm going to shout out the stats that I am reading out loud in front of you while we pull it up. 7 for 26 from the floor for Ant and Julius Randle in the first half. Yikes.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so weird. It felt like I don't know. I'm blinded by stuff because I thought Julius had a fairly decent first quarter. He didn't.
1 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, he did not. But it felt like there were too many times where we were like, okay, Julius, you're kind of open, so just take the shot. But he was just clanking them all. But my brain's broken. It's the same thing with Malik Beasley. I every time I saw him shoot, I thought it was going in. And I felt like he had a good game, and he was 1 of 10. So,
well, it's just remarkable, like a tale of two halves, but like also like the narrative kind of shifts when we just like play hungry or we play desperate. We play with more tenacity and willpower. Like it's incredible because we definitely were. I wouldn't say playing with our food whatsoever. That's not what we were doing.
No,
we were struggling to find any identity on the court.
Yes, that's 100% what it was. Yep. Yeah, this was not a game. You're right. You're totally right. This was not a game where we were like lackadaisical or like how like previous game. I was really upset in the beginning of the game because I was like, I just feel like we're not taking this seriously. I felt like we took it serious tonight. There was just like no flow on offense, and then defensively we're just getting kind of lost. But there was effort, so it was like kind of okay. It was just really weird. So, anyways, tier list. A1, unforgettably good game. You're gonna remember this game specifically, and I will be able to ask you, what did Ant do in this game or something, whoever. So it needs to be that memorable. Glenn Taylor, same thing, but just reverse. Terribly bad game. Honestly, There is something there. I wish I could make a tier under this tonight. And if anybody has suggestions, I will listen to one day only suggestions for a tier below Glenn Taylor, for somebody in particular. Matt, we care about you, bud, as you were fine or kind of as expected. Old tier moves up and down. And before we get into this, make sure you like the stream. We're only at 32 likes. I want to see 100 likes by the end of this. We've got 284 of you here. Some of you on Twitter. If you're here on Twitter, join the YouTube. We would appreciate it. Even if you just come over to like the stream, I would love that. So, June, I'm with you. I know that people are going to say that somebody's A1, but it's not that we're hating. It's that we have high expectations. Anyways, well, maybe that's mine. Maybe Ashwin has a different opinion. I don't want to speak for Ashwin. Okay.
Might have to.
Might have to. Yeah.
I might have to keep going in and out here. What? Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Not the worst player on the court tonight. That belongs to Draymond Green.
That's true. Yeah.
But nah, we needed you, bud. Moving on.
We did need you. Yeah.
He was basically an offer, and I really felt like I don't have anything like remotely fun to say about him, so I want to move on quickly.
I know.
Like I just felt he was out of sorts, man. He wasn't playing what we expect. He's okay if he doesn't make shots, but like defensively, where was he? Like rebound wise, where was he? He was in our way on offense at times. Like it was frustrating.
Yeah. It's dumb. I can see, honestly, David has a good point. Nah, Wancho. I could see him in Wancho. Looks like some people are saying that. Tallow. No,
dude, interview with
Wancho.
Rachel Nichols.
Dude,
Manimal with the yolks. Dante DiVincenzo. I want to put you and we care about you, bud. We need you, bud. But this was maybe his worst game.
Hopefully,
I don't care his relationship with Draymond Green. You don't need to go in and run into him to hug him. You don't need to find your friend. You need to work through it and not get so baited. Those charges that he drew, whatever you want to say about them moving or not, I don't care. He played you, and that's sad and embarrassing. And also, you didn't hit any threes. We aren't paying you to run around the court and take and draw charges or draw into charges. We're paying you mad bucks to hopefully win a championship with you on the court. Like we've had a small ball lineup with you on the court, and we are finding you unreliable now. People are coming up and raising pitchforks and be like, we don't need him anymore. That's not what we want to talk about with Dante DiVincenzo. We need him. Yeah, this was the worst game I've seen him play in a long time.
It was terrible. I made the actual Finch lower than Glenn Taylor. It's an executive decision. This was such a bad game for him. He couldn't even get he couldn't even really get that many shots off. And his defense was, it was so bad. He was a team low -14, and it felt like a team low -40. I'm not even trying to speak like I'm exaggerating or anything. He was so bad. It was hopefully the worst game of his career because that was
like that. Hopefully,
that was so bad. I cannot handle seeing worse than that.
Oh, they were hunting him defensively, man. That's also a problem when usually he plays up to his level of competition. He plays bigger than his size. He gets in passing lanes. He was behind everything. Jimmy Butler owned him in the post, and in the first half, we saw it. He was unplayable. And luckily, I don't think Finch is blind or anything, but he just saw the writing on the wall and didn't play Dante that much. So
yeah, right, that's true.
Saw it. We needed him. Didn't get him. Didn't play him.
I changed it to Mega Glenn Taylor. Cool. Next up, two words.
Read. That was great. That was great. 9 points off of 3 threes. Awesome. Couple turnovers. A lot of complaining on literally all of his fouls. All of his fouls were soft at best, but I didn't mind the game from him. I just wish we had more. I think he was supposed to be that third player tonight because we had foul trouble with Julius, with Rudy Gobert as well early. It was supposed to be Naz Reid.
I totally agree. I thought he felt really good, other than the fouling. And he's obviously weird. 50% of him is great on defense, and 50% of him is absolute cheeks. it's hard to watch sometimes, but it's other times it's like totally fine. Like there was times last year where he was guarding Jokic in the playoffs successfully. But there's also times where he just takes like the worst angle possible. And like Butler saw that one where he just drew the foul. And like I hate baiting the foul, but at the same time, Nas is like so much going into his lane that it's like, how do you not like do something? So yeah, but I agree. I thought this felt like if we could have had him out there more. There were a lot of times where Rudy was out there, and I was like, again, this would feel a lot better with Nas in there, because they're just able to score more, and it seems like that's what we need to do. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to put him because I really don't feel like he had that bad of a game. I almost want to put him in nice. Meh, Nas Reed, meh. Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I think
can't be better than
his
meh.
His threes spoke loudly. We were in kind of a discovery phase, weirdly, in the first half, and he hit 2 threes, two bombs to build a lead. And I think it was like 2 points to 8, like just boom, like straight up. And that was enough of a cushion for us to kind of breathe a little bit, exhaust, some energy, like exhaust ourselves and be like, hey, whoa, we can pull away, and we had a 10-point lead, and then we built it into a 10-point lead. That was great, right? It was like 38 to 28 or 39 to 29 or something. And then we stunk the bed in the second half of that, second part of that second quarter. He was a no-show for like 8 minutes in the third quarter, but that 3 in the fourth quarter was huge because we had, it looked like no legs in that moment. It really was hard for us to like find any sort of offense, and boom, Nas, reliable 3-point shooter in the corner, hit one, incredible. I'm gonna give him a meh. I wouldn't mind any other grade, but I want him. Like we need him. We care about him, bud.
We do care about him, bud. And most of chat said meh as well. I will be persuaded to go lower, but yeah, I mean, I wanted to see more of him. I wanted to see more threes. I wanted to see more shots because it felt like he had an advantage out there tonight. So
yeah,
cool.
So to the starters, Mike Conley. 28 minutes. His stats don't speak loudly, but I think his play did. 7 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 5 fouls.
Yeah, I when they said at the end of the game, I couldn't believe it. I like didn't remember any of them.
And I was okay
other than the
it.
one Kuminga one. Like
his defense was way better than it looked, and felt, and like he was denying passes. Buddy Hield has not been a factor in this series. Conley has been guarding him, and also when we were struggling to find any sort of flow, any sort of offensive like play call, the ATOs weren't working. Conley kind of slowed us down, settled us down, and got a couple buckets. I think even his passes were a little off tonight too. His oops to Gobert were just like oops, and or not in the positive way, and also like just generally like his shot might have been like not falling, but his 3 early, and then also his sensational D throughout the game gives me a meh to nice.
Yeah, I agree because I said that earlier that his defense was, it's like he is going to get beat sometimes just because of his size. Yeah, that's a great point, Butterfly. He did not play old tonight. Do we take him out of old tier tonight?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. He looked spry tonight. And man, I wish he could hit some of his shots still, because like if he could still hit shots at a pretty high rate, I mean, that would be unstoppable offense, honestly, because if we have just one more player that can hit shots, that's incredible.
I like nice minus.
Nice minus. I know. I think I'm okay with nice. I think we're closer to nice for Mike than we were Nas, so I think we'll put him up there. Jake says old tier.
Moving on. Rudy Gobert.
He exists.
And wow, there was a moment in the I want to say like fourth quarter where he might have been the most important player on the court, because we were struggling to find offense, but so was Golden State.
Yeah.
Golden State couldn't get anything going. Rudy was like, we can say, like, read the box score. Let's do it. 9 points, 13 rebounds, like incredible stuff. 4 block shots, insane stuff, right? Went to the line, hit most of his free throws.
Yep.
But all the, like, whoops, not going to attack Rudy Gobert plays that are not they're not recorded.
Yep.
The Pozenski like is playing off the court. He's trying to guard Gobert. He's trying to like rebound for Golden State. One of the leading rebounders for Golden State. It's like incredible, right? And we have this big dude that they cannot go up against routinely, and so it's a bunch of fun when we actually get our defensive identity and use him to the best of our abilities. But at the same time, he only played 26 minutes. Like, he was played off the court in moments where he was in foul trouble and stuff. So they kept trying to go at him, and he got a lot of soft calls too. So, anyways,
he did.
I would say nice for me, but
I kind of weirdly agree as well. Like, I do think, like, yeah, if you look at the box score, like, I mean, sure, the rebounds are nice and everything else is kind of meh, but like, he had a presence tonight, and I think it matched the team's success at the same time, because the first half, other than he was just rebounding, everything else was fouls. You know, a lot of his like contests were fouls. But he did have some good contests too that were just people were beating him, you know, like Kuminga had like 1 or 2 against him where Rudy's like timing it right, but it's just going right over his fingertips. Also, Rudy made another additional free throw that Julius stole from him. So like, really, and he almost, as Butterfly said, he almost hit a 3, or he almost had to take a 3. Which I was so excited because I knew that the shot clock was down and I saw him go all the way out and I was like, oh my God, it's happening. But it didn't. And then they somehow called that foul on the floor. What? That's like, we had 0.6 seconds on the clock. What else is he going to do? Anyways, I can probably go with a nice for him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I just think more than anything, when he plays in his truest intentions and not needing to at all think whatsoever, he's dunking, he's rebounding with tenacity, he's boxing out, he's doing that kind of like clearing screen where he's like trying to let people go by for an ant layup or for a Julius thunderous dunk. It was incredible to watch. I mean, all the little things he does do, man, the screens he sets, it's like incredible stuff that we can't really grade him like because of a stat line that doesn't exist, but it's just like what we watch on a nightly basis.
Yeah, quick intermission because FJD posted something, the AI summary of our chat in the Discord, and I have the screenshot here. Let me share this. We're evaluating Naz Reid's performance. Some think he played well, while others think he was only meh. I love that.
That's amazing.
That's cool. Okay. Anyways, back to the tier list. Did we put him up there? Yes, we did. Okay. He's in nice. The oldies are in nice tonight. It's a throwback, just like they were saying in the broadcast. They were talking about how this is an old school 90s game where it's only 42 to 40.
Oh, man. Jaden McDaniels, 42 minutes, 15.6 rebounds, 2 block shots, a steal, just generally absolutely chaotic defensively.
Yep.
I think he even bodied Jimmy Butler on a couple times.
Yep.
Fantastic game. Not unexpected, but I kind of wish I had a little bit of unexpected. I wish we had that third player to really kind of extend into the 20s in terms of points, but it's okay.
Yes. Cash easy. I'm totally with you. Clutch buckets, impactful moment buckets, great defense. The only thing that was bothering me, it's not going to drop me down a grade, but I just don't know why we're trusting Jaden in these like incredibly important like ball handling possessions. I
agree.
Like, why? I understand that he's open, but like he either needs to learn more about that or be put in those situations in practice or something, or we can't be doing that. Like, he's got to get that ball out of his hands to somebody. Somebody's got to come and get the ball from him. Really, that's what needs to happen. I don't want to have him making any passes. So, because that was, I mean, we had the game won and then we gave it away twice, and that wasn't both Jaden. That was one Julius, but still, that was super concerning. Other than that, amazing, super. I mean, just like the offense, the defense, the everything. He's putting it all together and shooting at a good clip. Like, he's had a really good playoffs. And I just, this feels like a good matchup, especially without Curry on the floor. I feel like he's I mean, they're doing everything they can to get Jimmy Butler off of Jaden at times or off of Ant or whoever. They just want to get Dante, Dante or Mike or Rudy or somebody. So yeah, easy. This is an easy cash though. Easy cash. Well, you were already married to him. You've already had a child with him, Butterfly. I've seen the pictures on Twitter.
Irvin Kiss. Ant just said in post game that the Kuminga dunk on him was what got him going. Thought that was interesting.
I saw that because I saw, like you were saying, it like the dials just turned on after that, and he was like, "Okay, let's go." And I was like, so in it for that. Yes, totally agree.
Debo, we're about to get into it. Julius Randle, 40 minutes, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, 100% from the line. My God. Big Julius Randle. I have nothing to say. I'm going to pass it on to you. I have been so wrong for so long about this player. He's been the exact opposite of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
He's been remarkable.
It's crazy. I mean, I know that he didn't shoot particularly well in like the beginning of the game. Let me actually pull it up real quick. But because like for me personally, I felt like he had a good first quarter, but it really wasn't like that great. But quarter by quarter, he had 4 points in the first quarter. I don't know why I thought it was so good. He had 9 points in the second quarter, 7 points in the third quarter, and then 4 points in the fourth quarter. But he's just our go-to offense every play. I mean, it's like if Ant doesn't have a one-on-one or a matchup that he likes, he just dumps it off to Julius, and Julius does all the dirty work. And he was getting so many rebounds tonight too. Just really good. And I thought he had some pretty good defensive effort at sometimes too. I mean, it's really just like, I mean, this is fantastic for Julius, regardless of Wolves, regardless of anything, because he's had this whole like story about him being a playoff dropper, and it has been the exact opposite for us all postseason, other than maybe the first Lakers game, I guess. But this is such a good game, triple-double, obviously. Just super, super good. Again, the only little asterisk, same as I did with Jaden, he threw that ball away hideously at the end of the game. I hate that, and I'm so confused because he's usually one of our more like sure like ball handlers, and it was between him and Mike, just like the dumbest thing ever. But it's a cash. It's a cash for me for sure.
I mean, you know what's crazy is that I bet you 80% of the NBA, you know, it's just the superstars that like don't get in their head. Maybe a couple players that are like, you know, they're perfect and they're just walls. You shoot 1 for 6, you shoot abysmally from the court, and you are asked to just chuck and like take over because other players don't have it, and the ball is forcing you. And I bet you, like, the Warriors are like, hey, Julius, you take those shots from 3 wide open. In fact, because we don't expect you to go pop off from 3. And he takes that really kind of unpronounced quarter and like deflects it and doesn't internalize it and just like says it's a nothing burger, and he pops off in the second half. Incredible poise and patience and bully ball, gets Looney in foul trouble out of this game, you know, gets Draymond hurried. And when I watch like Naz Reid defend like Draymond and like the Jimmy Butlers, he's gonna get ticky-tack fouls. Julius Randle knows how to defend those players, and he plays them with his chest out, you know, his arms out, and he doesn't really rely on his like the swiping ability or the ability to block a shot. He just plays big ball, big body Julius Randle energy. And I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore. I'm just in love with this player, man. I really am.
I am too. And to your point, and maybe the next point that I wanted to bring up, Crone with the $10 super chat. Appreciate it, Crone. One of my best friends who's a Laker told me, or who's a Lakers fan, sorry, told me after the game he thought the big difference between him and Cat was that JR is willing to go to the paint. So I think there's two elements to this. Yes, he is very willing to go to the paint, but Cat was also willing, or at least maybe told by Finch, to go to the paint. because how many times did we see Cat kind of recklessly drive to the basket? But he was driving in a way that was a straight line drive, not a post up. Julius is posting up, getting position, and then he's either spin move or he's doing like an up and under or whatever he's doing. He's doing or facilitating. He's got so many different facets to what he can do, and it's effective for us. Where Towns was just crashing into people getting charges, Julius is getting assists or making a bucket. And he's got like the fadeaway that he's got too. I mean, he's just got so much to his game there. Sure, he's not as good of a 3-point shooter as Cat, but he's got just infinitely more to his game that is more beneficial to us, I think, personally. I know a lot of people are watching Cat in the playoffs and thinking, oh, yeah, well, if we had Cat, we'd be even better. I don't think that's true. I think with Julius, we are better because he gives us so much more options than just scoring, But I mean, look at this. He's got a triple-double tonight. Cat was never going to get a triple-double with us like this. And I'm not saying the triple-doubles are the key to everything, but it's like a sign that something is going right. So anyway,
that's a good point.
Thank you.
Sign.
Thank you for the super chat, bro.
Yo, Golden State changed some things up. They started to trade Jackson Davis or whatever. They were playing faster. They actually maybe nipped them in the butt at the end, but they were playing faster. Trying to hurry Gobert and our bigs, potentially into bad defensive positions. Gobert was in foul trouble. Randall early got in foul trouble. Mm-hmm. Randall settled down. Also, Randall sprinted back on defense like constantly, especially after a couple possessions where we got burned. Like constantly sprinted back. Like that is something that really just kind of like takes its toll. But again, I didn't feel it. I didn't see its impact where he was hurried at all. And I just thought the game is about stars. The game's about all the all the ancillary stuff too. But like, how about just the reliability of Randall popping off for 20 plus points in every playoff game this series, right? Like kind of just like a steady hand, a steady cadence of Julius, and not letting anything really phase him. I think there was like a moment where he had like a walking screen on Podziemski. Podziemski flops.
Yeah.
You could get really upside down after a play like that. And he just kind of said, it's a nothing.
I was upside. I was livid in my living room here. I was like, this is BS. Like, I don't know how you don't go crazy. But and last thing I want to say on the Towns element of this, Wolves Knicks finals will be epic, best trade in history. And then somebody else said, Tallow said, I see the vision now with Randall. I can clearly see why Cat needed to go. And to be honest, I mean, I don't necessarily I think this is a great trade for both teams. Like this is a player that the Knicks needed. He's been clutch for them. He's got like some of the most clutch points, even though, I mean, it's Brunson, but like he's got a lot of clutch points for them in the playoffs so far. And then also we needed it more of a facilitator. But also coming into the season, I was very similar to Ashwin, where it was like, I didn't really believe that we were going to be sitting here in the second round of the playoffs talking about how Julius is like, getting a triple double for us after we've beat the Lakers. And now we're 2-1 against the Golden State Warriors without Curry. But still, like, I didn't expect this to be this good. I thought it would just be like a decent element of the game, but it's just turning out to be huge. So cash for Julius Randle.
I would move ahead. Would move him ahead of Jaden as well. All right. So Anthony Edwards, final player of the night for us. 43 minutes. That's not nothing. Like sometimes we just talk about minutes and it's like, all right, 43 minutes, we're talking about it. That's like basically the entire game. Dude, did you notice that he literally had one play off on the fourth quarter? He played the entire fourth quarter.
He came right back.
Like that's basically almost all of the second half. 36 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a block shot. He missed a couple free throws. He went 5 for 14 from 3, but he went 4 for 8 from 3 in the second half.
Yep.
He went 6 for 8 from 2, which is including a fucking couple of thunderous dunks.
Oh my god!
And his layups turned on in the second half.
Yeah. Slider.
We could get into it. We probably will.
Just kidding. We won't. End of stream.
No. I think this was an incredible performance from Anthony Edwards. We were worried.
Mm-hmm.
That first quarter, that first half, even.
Oh,
what's
for
going
sure.
on? He's shooting the lights the cover off the ball, as he said he used to, and then coming into the postseason, he's missing it. He's front rimming it. Does he have his legs in front of him or not?
Yeah.
But he turned it on. Something happened. That Kuminga half dunk happened, or that three that happened. He turned on. Incredible game for me, for Ant, our boy Ant, our leader, showed up, and we all had to get in line, and we did. Cash.
I'm cash too. I mean, I do think that this was like an incredible performance. First half, like you said, very concerned. I think that this comment that I'm going to make is going to be met with some criticism, but I think it's okay. I think this game proves that all of the other struggles that Ant has had is either just being immature, and I don't mean immature in like a mental way. Well, maybe some mental way, but more so just like he doesn't understand, like I was saying with my analogy earlier, he's just got to be in more situations to learn how to get out of those situations. He's 23, so like he's getting defended really well here in the playoffs. So like, especially against the Warriors. So that first half was like, it was better though. The first half, I will say, even though it wasn't great, there were still some signs of life from him. He had some good body language. He had some good moments, but this is, I mean, the second half, this is where you pay him the big bucks to make it to make the game happen. I mean, he's the one that really brings us back in this game because he hits those just multiple threes where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so huge. We were kind of on life support at a couple times, and then he just hits these buckets. That dunk is like such a huge momentum play that nobody else really on our team can do, and he's able to do that. I don't think it's anything with the ankles. I honestly, sometimes I don't even know if it's so much stamina. I think it's just it's just like a willingness to exert all the energy, but it's not even that. It's that he doesn't know how to do things at times. He's just still very young. And a lot of people are out there comparing him to other stars that are like 4 or 5 years older than him. And it's like, well, they're 4 or 5 years older with 4 or 5 years of extra experience. Ant's doing this at 23. I'd like to see what they were doing at 23 and what mistakes they were making at 23. Because I think that is unfair to compare him to like Jason Tatum or to like Donovan Mitchell or whoever, because like those players are older. And they've had more experience than Ant. They've been on, Donovan's been on multiple teams. So it's like, it's just not fair to compare. But at the end of the day, it's just, I mean, this was, exactly like what David just had up on screen there. Ant poster dunk and multiple dagger threes. It's just like, it's an incredible game. But again, we do try to keep this like, we're basing this off of our expectations coming into the game, and we always have it's unfair to the better players because we have really high expectations for the better players, but it's cash for Ant, of course. I mean, it's an easy cash for Ant.
I absolutely love this comment from 420 Sports. It is not a fan's job, responsibility, anything. We are just here supporting our team, loving on our team, and giving them praises and singing their, giving them flowers and whatever to our friends and our family and to each other. But like, we can get really like hot and cold, right? We can get really frustrated easily, and we can sing those comments, and we can really talk low and talk down about players. And interestingly, like, some players just have struggles, and that's just like what it is. And it's our almost duty to support them no matter what. That's our like we ride for our squad, man. Ant's gonna have remarkable games to a point where now, unfairly, he's expected to have ridiculous, redonkulous games every game. We worry about his ankles. We worry about, oh no, what is he doing? Why is he missing? Why is he hurting those shots? I mean, yeah, he's feeling it. He's figuring things out. And they're making him make these choices, Another thing, Cameron, is how ridiculous he's become as a playmaker.
Yeah.
And also how he's learning how to not be what he used to be. I think that's pretty crazy. Because like he was only a score first, can't pass the ball, doesn't want to pass the ball, won't pass the ball, into a potential triple-double threat on occasion. And then sometimes when the game demands you to be an alpha, sometimes your coach is telling you one thing, and your brain and your heart are telling you another thing, and you are expected to do both. It's like you have to pick and choose your spots. Maybe he's there was occasions that he flubbed the pass, or like he jumped too high, and then we got bailed out by a call because like Gary Payton grabbed his arm or something, and he was like still figuring it out. Honestly, it's insane to see him at his age like make these leaps and then physically leap over and dunk and crunk it and and also just like shut down any of that negative energy, because 36 points is not irrelevant no matter how you get it.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 8 points a quarter. We're getting that from Julius Randle.
Yep.
And look at us like singing his praises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's giving this to us in bursts and in moments where it probably even matters the most.
Yep. I think we're saying the same thing in different ways. I think it's just that like Ant is learning over time. He's just learning, and he is this good at this time, and he's still young. So, yeah, he's incredible, and he's going to be with us for a long time. That's the other thing that bothers me, is when people are out there on Twitter or whatever saying like Ant's going to leave, and it's like, buddy, we've been in there's a possibility we're going to be in the conference finals 2 years in a row. He's not leaving. Also, he's 23. They're in this CBA. You don't lose a player until they've been with you for like 9+ years. I mean, look at like Giannis, look at all these other players. Like, come on, they're not leaving. So I don't want to hear anybody ever say that. Ant's not leaving. Okay. At least not for a long time. But anyways, look at that tier list. It's kind of satisfying. Other than the Dante. Just cover up Dante there at the bottom, and then we're good.
We can just zoom in and scroll up a little bit, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, let's do this actually. Boom! Look at that.
Whoa!
I love.
Where would you grade Finch? Where would you grade Finch?
I hate doing this, but
oh, sorry, man. We don't have to do it then.
I'm just so bad at grading coaches because I'm not focused so much on the coach stuff during the game. I think about that like well after, like when I rewatch the game. But
about the 2 for 2 on challenges.
The 2 for 2 on challenges is great. I thought there were some good timeouts tonight. I thought there were some good timeouts. And he got angry at the appropriate moments. I don't know. So I would give him nice probably.
There was an ATO to get a Rudy Gobert dunk. There was an ATO to get a Naz Reid 3.
Yes. And there were some ATOs, or one or maybe two, where we got the ball turned over or had a shot clock violation. So
yeah,
that wasn't fun. But 2 for 2 for challenges is good. That's huge, but that's also just the guy behind the bench, not so much Finch. But yeah, at least I will say he was very fast on the one where they thought it hit Ant, either on the hand or the leg. He was kind of just motioning for it himself before he even saw the bench, it seemed like. So that's true too, David. David's got speaking some facts tonight, for real.
He always does.
Always does, yeah.
Shout out to that fucking awesome, or sorry for swearing. Shout out to that photo of you and your family. Pretty cool. All wearing Wolves gear. Pretty sweet.
Yes. That was awesome. Join the Discord, everybody. Cool. Well, here's the person that we need to ask about Finch. Gerald. I think Finch doesn't take regular season seriously because he is an actually good coach in the playoffs. He is definitely a playoff
Just
coach.
taking naps.
Yes, he is. He's the one that we should be worried about the naps. But I do agree to it a degree. I think the season for him is just kind of like a sandbox. Like he's just trying to like kind of figure things out, and he doesn't really care so much. I mean, he cares about wins and losses, but like it's weird because he does like keep certain players in. Like he doesn't just only play rookies. And by sandbox, I mean he's going to play the winnable players, the players that are going to guarantee you the best chance at winning. But then he's going to try different things within those games to see like what happens. So, but then the playoffs come, and again, I really do believe in Finch's ability to game plan when he has multiple games to like do so. Especially like coming into a series, I feel like he's pretty good. I did lose a little faith coming into this series because we lost game 1, but that seemed like a little bit more just like a terrible, terrible shooting game for us. So I don't know, but anyways, cool. Tier list complete. All right. Well, next game is Monday. Another late game. This one's even later This is a 9 p.m. Central game. I'm so sorry, everybody. And I'm sure that means that, let me look. I bet we're not the only ones playing that night. So that means that could be pushed back
Knicks
even
is
further.
beforehand. Beforehand. And they have the draft before that.
Though the lottery or whatever?
The lottery, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay. Jeez Louise. Okay, so it's definitely going to get pushed back. That's crazy. Okay, so that's going to be a late game. Maybe, honestly, maybe we should go out to that for that game because I mean, a stream that late might honestly, like, I don't know. People aren't going to want to be here after midnight.
Yeah.
Unless it's
But we'll do it
crazy,
anyways.
crazy cool. I mean, hey, you guys want us to do a stream at midnight if the game goes that late? You let us know.
Maybe let us know by showing up.
That's true.
Over 300.
We have so many people this time. It's crazy. Yep. There goes Ashwin. But yeah, we really have so many people this time. But I appreciate it. Like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the stream. We just reached 2,500 subscribers. I know it's not a ton, but that is a huge milestone coming from, I mean, we just started YouTube like 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. And we're already up to 2,500. That's insane. So I appreciate every one of you. Even the ones that are sitting there lurking in the background, because I know I do that in basically every other stream that I watch. I'm really not that much of a chatter in other streams. But I appreciate you. If you're lurking, like the stream. If you're lurking, I want to see names that I've never seen. I'm going to do this at the beginning of next stream. But if you're lurking and you've never commented on anything, I want to see you comment with who your favorite Timberwolves player of all time is in the comments. Let me know. So, cool. Yeah, Copecast too. We got probably some juicy Copecast. I haven't watched any for the Warriors, to be honest.
Same here.
I haven't really. I mean, I know Warriors fans aren't like the greatest. We've encountered some in the chat already today, but
Bob Fitzgerald kind of like ruined and tainted all. Like he like helps define an entire like cast of fans for me.
Yes, I can't believe I used to like him. I don't know why I did. I think it's a lot of the time for announcers, it's just their voice. It's like if they have a good voice, I'm like, oh, I kind of like the way they call it. But you hate his voice too. No. Luke Ridnour, but Jake, we see you all the time. He's Supersonics legend, right? Luke Ridnour. Mark Madsen, easily. Mine was probably, I mean, I loved Gorgie. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, I'm not trying to be, it's probably Ant now. I mean, it is Ant now, but previous to this, it was Gorgie or Levine. Nice. The Cash shirt. Love it. I like Michael Grad.
Michael Grad.
My name is FJD. My favorite Timberwolves player is Sam Cassell, and my favorite color is blue. Justice for Gorgie. Yes.
Oh my God. One of my favorite players, Gorgie.
Yes. Peck was fun too.
Yeah.
Lots of good ones.
Not
Rubio,
so much anymore.
Yeah. Well, don't say that because we might be like hit by his mob or whatever. But cool. Well, I don't have anything else to say.
Monday.
Game 4. Yep. Monday late. Let's take this one. I don't want to have a game 6. This would be perfect too. You win this game and then you just go home and you can win at home. That would be super fun. You were able to win one of the games at home. So that would be a really fun way to close things out. And then wait for the next series to be done, which that series feels like it could go 7. That series is an interesting one. That'll be fun. So Denver is up 2-1. D'Lo, yes.
I don't know if that's John Kaczynski says an hour ago, don't ever question Mike Conley ever again. What a gritty player.
I don't think anybody questioned
where's that coming from?
John.
And Finch on Randall's playmaking. It's everything for us. It's been everything for our team.
It is. It's every play. We spam it every single play. Of course, it's everything. Cool. Well, that's it. Like your stream. Like the stream on the way out. How many more wins? We need 10 more wins, right? 10 more wins. We can do that, right? 10 more wins. You just got to stay 500 and win. That's perfect. All right, 10 more wins and we're champions. I believe. Intro as the outro. We will see you guys possibly Monday night. Or Monday night? Yes. Monday night. Whatever game 4 is. We'll see you after game 4. See you Monday. Peace.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the World Championship.
Edwards. They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.